obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
It's a cookbook.
Who are we?
When will they take the bandages off?
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
This lemon sucker here. He's the most suspicious of the bunch.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
I believe you're going my way.
Live from Willoughby at the heart of the Twilight Zone. Here are your hosts, Alex and Tyler, the prestigiously perfect podcast in which we call The Twilight Gnome.
What is up, Gnomies? I'm Alex.
And I'm Tyler.
Welcome to the Twilight Gnome Podcast, episode 117. We are in the top, or final, 40 episodes.
That is correct.
What episode are we going to be discussing this week, Ty?
This week we have Death Ship.
Season 4, Episode 6, original air date February 7th, 1963. This was written by Richard Matheson and directed by Don Medford, who did 5 episodes of The Twilight Zone. And, of course, with only 40 left, we are closing in on his. Are you ready for his 5?
Let's hear it.
A Passage for Trumpet, The Man in the Bottle, The Mirror, Death's Head Revisited, and Death Ship. I might say this might be his best episode.
2 of Klugman's. He must have enjoyed working with him.
Right? Yeah, I'm going to say this is my favorite out of those 5.
So what were they? Passage Trumpet, this one?
Man in the Bottle, The Mirror, and Death's Head Revisited.
Yeah, I'd say this one's probably my favorite out of those.
Well, speaking of favorites, Ty, what was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was Rod's outro because he actually, confirmed what it was that was causing all this. Because throughout the episode, they obviously throw up a bunch of different possibilities. Maybe it's time travel, maybe it's aliens, maybe they are dead. And I like that they confirm for the audience, yes, it was in fact that they were dead. Again, people that listen to the show a lot know that I hate ambiguity in episodes. So to have him confirm for the audience, I really enjoyed that.
Right. There's so much, for me, there's actually quite a bit in this to like, but I really enjoy... Could you say, I can't say this as a moment, but the rewatchability of this episode, there's some episodes like Eye of the Beholder where, yes, it's a great episode, but after the first watch, you can appreciate them playing with shadows and stuff like that. But there's episodes like this that the first time watching it, you're like, all right, this is pretty good. And then the second time, knowing the context of that they're stuck in the loop and stuff like that, spoiler alert, just like the performance of the guy that played Mason when he sees his daughter, the first time you watch that, you don't know that they're actually dead, so you're like, oh, it's just he's excited to see his daughter because he's probably been away from her for a few months. But then the heartbreaking realization that his wife and daughter died, and that scene just hits so much harder. So I'm going to probably have to say that scene's my favorite.
Yeah.
But all in all, this episode...
Definitely, it works well, rewatchability in one sense, but not so much the other. Because the first time I watched it, I was completely pulled into it because of the mystery. What is happening? Why is there this other crashed vehicle with their bodies? And sort of that was what pulled me in the first time. So the second time, where I already knew, at least that part didn't pull me in as much because obviously I knew the answer. But it was really fun. All the small things that I didn't notice the first time that. Knowing the answer, it makes the rewatch more interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of the Klugmans, we're going to keep doing this. And you kind of get his personality and all right, he would be the guy that he just refuses to believe this. And he's just going to keep finding an answer.
Even when they first leave the wrecked ship, you can see one of them hearing a crash sound in their head. And at the moment you think that they're just picturing what probably happened to the ship. But at that point, after rewatching it, you realize, oh, he's living back the memory of actually crashing. He's remembering, not just imagining.
We have the technology to rebuild it.
Doctor, what have you created?
I am, for all intent and purposes, AI Serling.
All right, so I only have to do this 40 more times. I'm pretty excited about that. Every week I put a prompt into ChatGPT, come up with a Rod Serling-style intro to the episode the boys are watching. And this week I came up with this. Picture, if you will, 3 astronauts on a mission through the cosmos, bravely exploring the unknown and demonstrating mankind's greatest achievement, refusing to accept the obvious. Their destination is a distant world. Their discovery is a mysterious wrecked spacecraft. Their reaction is to spend the next hour insisting that what they're seeing cannot possibly be what they're seeing. Tonight's journey concerns space travel, mortality, and the remarkable human ability to ignore every clue placed directly in front of it. A voyage into a region beyond logic, beyond reason, and occasionally beyond patience. A voyage into the Twilight Zone.
Very good. Yeah, because when I first was watching this episode, I thought like, oh shit, did I mess up by putting this as a death-themed episode? Like, is it an alien? Is it a time travel one? But after...
And future, like you said, this could almost fit into every single category.
It could.
If it
until
was actually alien.
Exactly. Until the reveal of like, oh no, actually, it's not a time loop. It's not aliens causing this. It is just death. And a very, very poignant episode on death, too, about like some people's refusal to believe it.
Very good. All right, so every week Tyler and I come up with a few questions for each other, keep each other on our toes while watching said episode. I have 4 this week.
Oh, I have 3.
All right, it is even, or do you want me to go first because I have more?
Yeah, you go first. You have more.
All right. What year is it? It's an easy one.
1997.
Yeah.
Where does this take place? Don't say space.
Did it actually say like the name of a planet, or did it give coordinates or some shit?
It gave the number of the planet and the number of the star system.
Star System 7, Planet 52.
That'd be a lot of planets for one star system.
I don't know.
It's the 13th planet of Star System 51.
Wouldn't you, I would assume that the 13th planet would be too far away from the sun. Which, I mean, I guess they did say it was negative 13 degrees. But,
yeah.
Which there was like
looks like there's
tropical
life. Yeah.
And there's tropical stuffs, which would not survive negative 13 degrees.
Maybe there's a bunch of tiny planets that are all really close to the star, or maybe it's like a really hot star, or I don't know.
It's an odd choice. What's the number of the spaceship?
E86.
Ooh, so close.
E89.
E89.
Because when I first saw it, it's written upside down, so like they say like E89, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, that looks like it says like 68 dash upside down E. I'm like, oh, okay, it's I'm looking at it backwards. What's the code on Mason's card?
Oh, damn. That was like 6 or 7 things.
The right hand side, it's just 4 digits.
0237.
6396.
Dang. Did I even get any single one right?
No.
What is Earth's station identification number?
That was my last question, 1217.
Yes. And I guess I kind of already gave mine away, but how cold is it outside?
Minus 132 or something.
Oh, I just said it.
Minus 32? No, minus 130. No, minus 32.
Negative 13.
Okay. It was below 0.
It was.
Assuming Fahrenheit?
Yeah, I would assume so. All right, we'll jump right into the plot of this one. We open on a spaceship, and even though it's season 4, we're kind of thrust into a Rod intro part 1, which I kind of like.
And what I like, too, is we don't initially get Rod standing in a blank room. It's a voiceover this time.
Right. I think we've mentioned this many times, but they definitely should have reverted back to the season 1 just voiceover if they couldn't actually have him in the scene.
Yeah.
But we get what we got.
Picture of the spaceship E89. Cruising above the 13th planet of Star System 51, the year 1997. In a little while, supposedly, the ship will be landed and specimens taken, vegetable, mineral, and if any animal. These will be brought back to overpopulated Earth, where technicians will evaluate them and, if everything is satisfactory, stamp their findings with the word inhabitable, and open up yet another planet for colonization. These are the things that are supposed to happen.
We see a technician going over, like, what would you even call that? 'Cause it's not like GPS.
It's got like a digital map.
Right, but it's like actually showing like a zoomed in version
of
what's going on down below.
Like a map, yeah.
But anyway, he sees something flashing, which this is also...
It's a predator. Predators flashing them in the wild.
This is another thing. If Mason was actually able to like realize he's stuck in a loop, because he kind of like this... loop seems to start here. He could just not mention it, right? What would happen?
I would say they're not necessarily stuck in a loop so much as they're stuck in the captain's unwillingness to realize his own death, and so he keeps taking them back through the last moments. It's kind of like a loop, but it's not going to play out the same every time because it's all just about the captain and.
But that's kind of crazy about how much. But even if he denies it so much, then like why are those other two trapped? I just don't understand why they have to be trapped because of his inability to see what's going on.
I think it's supposed to be like an allegory for like how one person's denial can trap others into like tortured existence or something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
But anyway, the captain says, I don't see anything. Mason says, it was there. I'm telling you, Captain. The captain says, it's probably just a lake. And this other guy comes in, Carter, our third astronaut, and he's like, oh, what's going on down there? Why are we turning? Captain says, I know what you're thinking, but don't. Your whole alien contact theory. Which, this is kind of cool because they start getting into like, well, we gotta make contact eventually. One day it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that Mason really wants there to be aliens. He's excited about this whole idea of like potentially meeting an alien life form that's intelligent. And it seems like the captain here is just very reluctant to go down. But like you said, he does decide to turn the ship around and start heading down to the planet. But it's very reluctantly. He doesn't kind of want to.
I think that it's also awesome because you kind of get that he's a skeptic at first. He like questions everything. There's no such thing as aliens. We can't be dead. Like everything is.
And I like how they use the same line at the beginning that they to bookend at the end too, where he's like, "There's nothing there," and then kind of Rod points to the fact like he can't even see something that's literally staring him right in the face. Like you said, it's just another reason that shows that he's a skeptic.
They see that flash again. Mason says it might be a ship. Mason and Carter convince the captain to go down. Giggity. They say he's been acting strange lately, which is again like something like
they're saying the captain's acting strange. Yes.
Which could that be like something that they? Who knows? How? I wonder what number turn is this in the
cycle of them retracing?
Like this could be like the 1,000th time, or this could be the very first time they get stuck in the loop. We don't know, but it's kind of cool. He's acting strange, ain't he? Because do you think they would change?
Well, obviously something's different about all of these cases from the original one, because the original one they died, and then all of these other time warps or whatever you'd want to call them, or the other replayings of the past, obviously things do go different. They don't crash. So he's trying to like figure out what happened. I don't know, it's weird.
They get into their molded chairs, prepare for landing.
I hate those chairs. They're so
clearly
unnecessary.
made out of like styrofoam or like some sort of like very spongy material as well. Did you notice that?
It's such a creepy thing to have. Like, it's why does this seat need to be shaped like you?
Mm-hmm. So they go down for landing. Pretty cool shot of the ship landing.
Yeah.
And the one that they're taking off of.
You hardly ever see like saucers like that have like flame jets at the bottom.
Yeah, you'd assume that they run on some anti-gravity or something. Just we're going to have this really futuristic design, but it's still going to run on the
basic fuel that all rockets nowadays do.
Right. Then they land and they notice that there's also a crashed ship there that looks a lot like theirs, and then we get Rod intro part 2.
Picture of the crew of the spaceship E-89. Captain Ross, Lieutenant Mason, Lieutenant Carter. 3 men who have just reached a place which is as far from home as they will ever be. 3 men who in a matter of minutes will be plunged into the darkest nightmare reaches of the Twilight Zone.
Doesn't the guy that plays Mason kind of look like Barney Phillips a little bit?
He does look a lot like Barney Phillips.
Anyway, the guy that plays Mason decides that he's going to go. He's like checking the atmosphere and stuff, and he's like, all right, let's suit up. And the captain is reluctant.
Yeah, he's very excited about getting out there and getting off the ship, and the captain is skeptical and he's kind of pissed at him. He's like, you were acting too foolhardy. You just want to get out there and meet aliens. Like, you need to slow your roll or else I'm going to be mad at you.
You're going to make mistakes. He's like, well, tell me when I make them then. They get out of the ship, and the captain's like, all right, no one take any risks. They go up to the ship, and they're like, look at this thing. It looks just like ours. They end up going inside the ship.
Inside of the ship, they also confirm, like, this thing's built just like one of ours, too. Like, if it looked like it on the outside, it looks like it on the inside. This is definitely one of our ships.
Right? They get into the control room or what have you, and it's pretty much identical. They see 3 bodies, though, in there, and they're all kind of face down, so we don't know who these guys are. They turn over the first guy, and it's Mason, and obviously it's Mason who flips him over. What the fuck? That would be such a mind blow.
And I was wondering, too, like, if the technology was there to do, like, a face within a face kind of shot. And they eventually do a wide-out shot where they do show both of them at, the
Except
same guy
the
twice.
guy that was sleeping on the right was just a still.
Yeah, I could tell that one was still, but the other one kind of looked like they were both.
And they did a pretty good job. There was only one shot where it was, like, a jarring, abrupt, like, change.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was just, like, a close-up on a live Mason, and then it shows dead Mason, and then you see like an arm that obviously isn't his going in to reach to his pocket. But a pretty cool effect.
Yeah, good way to work around it.
Then they turn over the second guy, it's Carter. Finally, they turn over the third guy, and it's Captain Ross.
Yeah, so then after they see all their dead bodies there, the captain wants them to turn on the lights. Again, proving his more skeptical nature. So they turn on the lights, and they confirm, yep, it is him. Carter then checks the ID on his dead counterpart. Mason checks the ID on his dead counterpart's body. The two are exactly the same, down to like even the numbering on the ID. And it's at that point that the captain's like, okay, like what we're seeing isn't what we're seeing. There's got to be a reasonable explanation. These aren't our dead bodies. We're still alive. Like, look at us. We're still flesh and blood. We're moving around. This can't be us, whatever's going on here. And he takes the guys out of the ship. And right after they leave the ship, though, it returns for one last look at the dead bodies. And did you notice that the captain's, you can clearly see him breathing?
I didn't.
It's like really, like every time I saw her, I was like, that's jarringly, like, Klugman, you could do better.
All right, so at this point, the captain says, we're leaving. We're going to get back to the ship and radio Earth. Carter says, shouldn't we bury us? The captain's like, that's not us. And then he kind of reassures himself, I'm alive. I am alive. Next shot, Mason's trying the radio. Apparently, they've been trying for a long time or something. Nothing's coming in. Captain tells him, well, keep trying, Mason says. There must be interference, some sort of shield or something, which I thought that was kind of a cool theory.
Yeah. And then after this, he kind of throws out another theory as to kind of like what could explain the other ship there. And he's like, remember back in the academy when we were learning about time dilation, how you could either move forward or backwards in time at certain intervals? And he kind of throws around the idea that like the ship that they're seeing is a future version of themselves, and like that would explain why they're there.
Wait a minute. Do you both remember what they told us once in training about the theory of circumnavigating time? They said it might be possible for us to leave the Earth during 1 year. Then when we got back, though we thought it was the same year, it might be the year before or the year after. Remember that?
That was just a theory, Captain.
No, it's not a theory, because that's what's happened to us. We've gone into some kind of time warp, right into the future.
And that ship standing out there is in the future? Is that what you're saying?
No. Only the probable future.
What does that mean?
That means we're not dead.
And it also means we're going to be dead.
Not if we don't go up.
It's at this point that they kind of... Captain obviously wants to stay put in order to save their lives based off of his theory. And that's when we get the information from the rest of the crew that the reason he's fine with staying around there on the planet is because he has no loved ones waiting for him back on Earth. So it's not so much a big deal for him.
Right. I did like... So the first time I watched this, obviously I assumed that Mason had someone back home for him, and it doesn't specifically say he does, because it shows Carter actually after this, who actually does have a wife and kids there. But the whole reveal, the second time, the knowing Mason's true story just makes it so much more heartbreaking, I feel like.
Definitely. But yeah, so then Carter at this point says, like, well, we can't stay here for too long, like the battery's going to die on everything because this planet gets down to minus 13 degrees, and at this point, Carter kind of rubs his eyes, and then when he opens them, boom, he's on a dirt road back on Earth. Or so he seems.
Right. So he starts walking down the road as Hunter guy comes out to him. Mike, is that you? When did you get home? Does Mary know you're coming? Carter's like, I don't know. I don't think so. Then this old woman comes up to him, and hey, how's it going? And she's like, oh, anyway, I got to get going. Hunter guy says, that Miss Nolan takes that walk every day, huh? Carter runs off. Finds Mary in this cool futuristic looking house.
Very cool house. Like, I want that house.
Right. He can't find anybody. He goes upstairs to the bedroom, sees a black veil on the bed with a note that says, we're sorry to inform you that your husband has died. And then we hear the captor saying, Carter, I'm talking to you, Carter. And the next thing you know, he's back on the ship.
Yeah, he just kind of pops out of what we believe to him just having like a little memory or like a reverie of something of some kind. But yeah, and then
I like this. He's just like, what happened? He's like, I swear I was home. I was there with Kramer. I know,
when I heard the name Kramer too, I was like, shit. But yeah, he says, I just remembered something now that I'm out of there. Like, Kramer and Mrs. Nolan, like, they're both dead. Like, how did I see them? Which is another kind of clue that we kind of don't fully realize until later. I mean, maybe some people did.
They're only seeing dead people.
Yeah. It's at this moment that we also realize that Mason is also missing. He's not in the little bedroom area like he was before.
He wakes up by a riverbank.
He's got like a little fishing pole that's made out of like a stick, and he sees his daughter Janie, and they
It's
have
such
this
an emotional moment,
very-
especially knowing that he's obviously like, you're dead. It's such a gut punch.
very heartwarming moment.
Oh, Daddy, I thought I'd never find you. I looked and looked. I found him! I found him!
Jeannie.
What is it, Daddy?
Oh, baby, is it you?
What's wrong, Daddy?
Nothing, honey, nothing. I'm just happy to see you, that's all.
Oh,
Was that your mother you were calling to just now? Was it, honey?
yes, Daddy. You know.
Where is she?
Over by the table, Daddy.
This next part's really cool too.
He does a limp wrist run to his wife. Did you notice that?
I didn't.
He's like, very limp wrist run that he does, and then he emerges through like a bunch of bamboo to his wife.
Yeah, very tall grass. It's very, I guess, knowing that this is the afterlife, it makes a lot of sense. He like comes to his wife, giggity, and she's just like, "Oh, we've been missing you," and he's like, "Oh God, is it really you?" And then this is kind of like a nightmare. I really like the Mason, get back here. And you're like, how the fuck did you get here? Get out of here.
Before that, too, I kind of thought it was funny. The way he was saying Ruth made me think of the Goon. He's like, Ruth, baby, Ruth. But yeah, then the captain comes out. He's like invading his own personal heaven, which, I mean, at this point in time, if it's your first watch around, you're probably thinking like, oh, he's like breaking into his delusion. But no, like Mason's sort of made it to the afterlife. He's in heaven, but then the captain
really
keeps
hate the
dragging
captain.
him back.
Yeah, like fucking let this guy be with his family.
Be and pass on. So yeah, the captain comes and he literally drags him back onto the ship, and like obviously Mason's quite pissed. He's like, "No, that was my wife and daughter. They died earlier. Like I was with them, and you took me away from them." And like you said, you're pissed at the captain.
And this is when we get the realization that his family is dead, because he goes, "Those aren't your family, because look, your family died." And that just kind of confirms that he was just back in like his own personal heaven, like you had mentioned. And like I said, it's just such a heartbreaking thing.
And then it's at this point that the captain's like, "Okay, new idea here.
Now I know what's going on."
Yeah, now I finally see what it is. It's aliens. The ants. We're in an episode of Twilight Zone. The answer's got to be aliens. And he's like, "What's happening is they're fucking with our minds, and they're making us see all this delusional stuff. We're actually."
It's a good theory.
It is a good theory. I actually bought into it. I'm like, oh, that'd be another cool twist. Like they keep throwing out theories that are like, these are logical, except for his explanation as to how to evade them. Like if they're making you see things, then wouldn't they also make you see flying up and away? Like
that whole thing made zero sense. Obviously, it's a man who's in denial, but the whole logic of if we go up, then we know that they can't. That crash shift won't still be there. Like why?
Be like, yeah, like if you could just land back down again, and the aliens would just put you under another spell and make you delusional again. Yeah, so his logic completely flawed. But again, that kind of works for the episode because he's supposed to be in denial anyway.
Right. Carter pulls a gun on the captain. You're not taking us up.
Very quickly puts the gun down with very little, like, much in the way of discussion from Mason and the captain.
Yeah, the captain's just like, "You said it yourself, we'd freeze." "Oh yeah, all right, I'm an idiot." They reluctantly go up,
get back in their weird chairs, and they successfully make it back up into orbit.
Apparently they're going through like a lot of G's or something, all the faces that they were making.
Oh god. But yeah, right when they get up there, the captain's like, "All right, well,
see, I was right.
Now we need to go back down again."
And I guarantee you that crash ship won't be there.
But the rest of the crew's not having it, and they start like fucking with him while he's trying to take the ship back down. So there's a couple seconds there we think, oh, maybe this is the crash.
Right.
But nope, they end up stabilizing the ship.
You kind of said that we don't see the crash?
We don't see them crash.
Yeah, I kind of want to see them crash. We never get to see it.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, we realize that...
We think that that's going to be the crash, but yes. I'm saying that I was kind of upset that we never get to see that.
I mean, yeah. Guess we don't need to, though. It's more about his denial of the crash. We know it's a fact, so...
So do you think that they're probably never going to crash because eventually they just restart the loop?
Well, they're probably never going to crash because they're already dead. There's nothing to crash. Like, this is all going on presumably in the captain's mind, or like in his version of hell/limbo, and he's kind of pulled the other two souls into his personal limbo.
So they get back down, they land, and the captain opens one window at a time. See, look, it's not there anymore. But then they open.
We're in a round ship. What do we got to check all the windows?
They check the last one, and it is still there. That crashed ship. And Carter's just like, "Oh, see, you were wrong." The captain says, "No. There's an explanation." And Mason says, "No, we're not." And I'll play some of this because he's just like, "Just please let us die. Just accept
Let us move
this."
on.
And no, I can't. This part, I like his determination, but you really kind of dislike Klugman in this episode.
Yep.
We're not going to crash, because we already have crashed. What are you talking about?
Stop fighting it, Captain. You're all out of explanations. There's only one left, and you know it.
I know nothing of the kind.
Oh, yes, you do. Carter was home. That telegram was really there. I was with my wife and my daughter because I'm just like them now.
No.
Accept it, Captain. Stop trying to prove that we're alive.
Oh, you're alive. There's something happening here. I don't know what it is, but there's an explanation for it.
I've given you the explanation.
I don't accept it! We're gonna go over it again until I find the answer.
Can't you see that's what we've been doing? Going over it again.
It is. I don't know. That might be one of my favorite scenes too.
Yeah, it's very heartbreaking, and like it sucks for Carter and for Mason because like they're just forced to like keep.
I just don't understand why they are forced though. Like if they accept it, why can't they pass on and he's just the only one in there? Why are they a package deal?
Maybe the two of them have, and like this is just the captain's soul, and like the two already have moved on, but like his memory of these two guys, like he won't let their memory die either. Like I think there's a possibility that possibly those two guys have moved on literally, and just the captain's just remembering them in a way that doesn't let them. I don't know.
Yeah, so Mason says, "Come on, we're dead. Just let us die." And next shot, it's the same shot as the beginning. Mason's on that radar and says, "Hey, Captain, look, there's a glitter down there." And we kind of get the same little thing.
But I like the line of him, because now in this new context where he says, "I don't see it," we understand that he, especially after the beginning of Rod's outro, that he is definitely a man that will not even believe something that's blatantly right in front of his eyes.
And then Rod takes us out.
Picture of a man who will not see anything he does not choose to see, including his own death. A man of such indomitable will that even the two men beneath his command are not allowed to see the truth. Which truth is that they are no longer among the living. That the movements they make and the words they speak have all been made and spoken countless times before, and will be made and spoken countless times again, perhaps even unto eternity. Picture of a latter-day Flying Dutchman sailing into the Twilight Zone.
And that's our episode. Tyler, what did you learn?
Denial ain't just a river.
Yeah. All right, we'll get right into ratings. IMDb currently has this at a 7.6 out of 10. Do you think we're going to be on the same page?
I think you might actually be higher than me on this one.
You think so?
I think you really liked this. I mean, I liked it a lot too, but I don't know.
Well, I'll let you go first then, I guess.
All right, I'm giving this a 7.5. It's a really good mystery. Love how we get to explore all possibilities from time travel to aliens to death. And I really like that there is a clear, definitive answer at the end that we get from Rod. It's fun, sci-fi feel, and really good foreshadowing upon rewatching without it like being too obvious and well written. But it did lose a little bit of rewatchability for me, just where the kind of mystery of it all kind of no longer exists upon a rewatch.
I'm going to give this an 8. I liked it a slight bit more than you, but I feel like if this was cut down, this might be like an 8.5, 9. I don't see it ever being a 10, but it's an incredible portrayal of the whole death thing. The rewatchability is pretty good compared to other episodes. I really like the whole stuck in a time loop thing. The acting is great in this. From all three of the, I mean, I guess the guy that plays Carter is kind of the weaker actor of the other two, but Klugman and the guy that plays Mason, it's awesome episode.
Yeah.
Who are they? Where are they? What are they? Let's find out together in the Twilight Gnome presents Inside the Twilight Zone.
All right, so this week, of course, we have Jack Klugman. He played Captain Ross. He was in 4 episodes of The Twilight Zone, and now we only have 1 left. I will remind you which ones he was in. He was obviously in A Passage for Trumpet, In Praise of Pip, which we still haven't done, Death Ship, and what the hell was the other one he was in? And A Game of Pool. It's been a while since I've seen In Praise of Pip. And again, that one's a very sad one. I'd say A Passage for Trumpets is worse, but the other one, maybe this might be his best, or In Praise of Pip.
I don't know if I've ever seen In Praise of Pip, but out of the 3 I've seen so far, this is definitely the top.
Right. He was in 12 Angry Men. I believe he was the last one of the people to play in the jury that actually died.
Oh, okay. Now I remember him in that movie. That's a really good movie.
Out of the 3 spacemen, he was actually the only one to see 1997.
Yeah.
He was in 114 episodes of The Odd Couple, where he plays one of the main characters. And he was in 148 episodes of Quincy M.E., which many of Twilight Zone alumni were also in an episode here and there of that. Then we have Ross Martin. He played Mason. He does look a lot like Barney Phillips, I think. He's only in 2 Twilight Zone episodes, and now we have completed his Twilight Zone resume. Can you remember what else he was in?
Is he one of the neighbors in the shelter?
No, he was one of the 4 of Us Are Dying, one of the people that the bodies that he takes over.
Oh, okay, yep.
He was in 2 episodes of Night Gallery. He had 133 credits to his name, lots of television from the 50s to the early 80s. Then we have Fred Beer. He played Carter. He had 119 credits between 1950 and 1980. 1 episode of The Munsters, 1 episode of Andy Griffith, 1 episode of The Odd Couple. But other than that, there's just kind of the working actor stuff here, there, and everywhere. As you probably could have guessed, there was a lot of props from Forbidden Planet in this, be it obviously the spaceship itself, the clothes they were wearing, and all that. Same music as back there. I forgot to mention that when they see their bodies.
Yeah.
Remember from back there when he's like crawling towards nothing at the fire? You've drugged me, why?
Oh, okay, yeah, yep.
In total, this episode cost $125,476. The director received $2,750, quite a bit. And the cast received $10,009. So it's kind of pretty good episode. And I mean, 10,000 between, there's only 3 people in the whole
pretty good
thing
for each
there.
person.
So I'm sure Klugman probably got a little bit more.
Probably, yeah, 4.
So he probably got
probably
like
4, 3, and 3.
Yeah.
What'd you say your name was?
What's in the name, Mr. Benedict, really? It's a mere question of semantics. Just language. A mere stretch of words.
So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few alternative titles to the episode we are watching. You guys can do so as well if you want to play along. I only have 2, and they're both debacles.
I have 4.
All right, go for it then.
I'll start with my debacle. We probably have one of the same debacles, 2 Ds. I got the denial debacle.
I have the death debacle.
Yep.
And I have the do-over debacle.
Nice. My other ones were the out-of-body experience, Did We Crash, and the 7 stages.
But did we die?
But did we die?
Switcheroos, I have 2.
I have 4.
I have Back There.
I have The Last Flight. I have Mirror Image.
Mine you have to switch a little bit, but the 3 of Us Are Dying.
I have another slight switch, 3 for the Angels, and Death's Head Revisited.
All right.
All right, so no direct references this week, but I do have a couple of spiritual predecessors. Starting us off, Star Trek The Next Generation's episode called Cause and Effect from 1992, where the Enterprise becomes trapped in an endless time loop, repeatedly dying and then restarting. The concept of characters like unknowingly reliving the same doomed events over and over again definitely kind of echo the same theme there. And there's also an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with a very similar premise to that Star Trek one called As I Have Always Been. And in that, too, they're kind of stuck in a time loop, and they keep dying over and over again until they can fix how they died the first time. And then there's also the 1999 movie The Sixth Sense, where the central twist is that Bruce Willis's character doesn't understand that he's dead and he can't really come to terms with it. Very similar to what Klugman is going on here. And then there's also the 2001 movie The Others, where, again, we have a dead character who doesn't realize that they're dead because they can't fully come to terms with their own death. With Nicole Kidman's character there. So
did I ever tell you how terrified I was as a child of that trailer?
Just the trailer?
Yeah, they played it before. I went to see Jurassic Park 3 in theaters, and they played that trailer before. I was probably like 7, 8, and that fucking trailer scared the ever-living shit out of me. I was a terrified child to begin with, but I think I slept in Mom and Dad's room for so long until they kicked me out because of that. It was that...
Because of the trailer. I thought it was like a movie that scared you. That's why you slept there for so long.
Well, that was another movie. That was The Haunting of Connecticut. And that was like, I was like 14. That was really embarrassing. But when I was like 8, I saw the trailer of that, and it was that little girl, and it showed her like burnt face, and she's like, I am your daughter, or something like that. Scared the fuck out of me.
I don't think I remember ever watching the trailer. I definitely never watched the movie, but yeah.
It's a good movie. I watched it as an adult, and like it wasn't that scary, but as a little kid, that scared the shit out of me. And then I think
probably harder too, like knowing how it's gonna end. Like, oh, it's not as scary because you're like, the house is haunted. No, you're the ghost.
I didn't know. I don't think I knew that when I didn't know what the movie was about. I stayed away from it for so long because the trailer scared me. And then I believe that Scary Movie did a parody of that, where I was like, "Are you mad? I am your daughter." And it was Michael Jackson under the thing.
Yep. Yeah. Classic. But that is all I got for references this week.
All right. Well, every week Tyler picks the episodes. He does so by showing me an AI-generated picture. I have to play a little game where I guess what it is. Now, we are in the final 40. Are we doing Death Other? What are we doing here?
Yep. So this week we have been in Death Other. So this was obviously a death. So the next one's going to be an other.
Probably not season 4. That would be kind of crazy, but I mean, we only have 39 episodes now left.
Is there any episode you're looking forward to or not looking forward to, or just want to take a guess for an other?
An other? What you need?
Are you ready?
Yeah. The Whole Truth.
Yes, I believe it's our last
I think
video.
It is our last videotape episode.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a kind of
It's
guilty
funny.
pleasure,
I like
kind of
this.
funny.
Yeah, it's fun. Definitely got humor to it. I mean, apart from it being a video episode where the quality's a bit low visually, I think it's a really good episode.
It's definitely better than The Lateness of the Hour.
Lateness of the Hour is still a good episode.
That sucks so bad. I don't know. But I believe you're right. I think this is our final of the 6 videotape episodes.
Yeah, because we definitely did Lateness of the Hour, we did Static, we did Night of the Meek.
Did Long Distance Call.
And did Long Distance Call. And
oh, we haven't done 22. 22 is a videotape
okay.
episode.
Yep, yeah. So
we still got one. No, all right.
2 more. We got
2
22
more.
in this one.
All right, next week, The Whole Truth, a pretty decent one. A little laugh after this serious week here.
Yes.
You are about to receive a message from the 5th dimension.
All right, so this week we have a couple messages on our latest poll, and the latest poll is up there all about your favorite trio of astronauts from the Twilight Zone. And the comment comes to us from Mario, and Mario says, I forget the name of it, but it's where the astronauts go to what appears to be a town run by a caretaker who, spoiler alert, has taken all the people who have visited the planet and made a museum out of them. And it looks like you were trying to figure out what the episode was, and another viewer correctly answered you, saying it was Elegy, and that correct response comes to us from Shanghai Senator. So yes, thank you guys both. Yes, I love Elegy. Great
Elegy,
episode.
I think I voted on that one. It's one of my favorite episodes to begin with, but that's such a classic trio of astronauts.
And I feel like they all play well against each other. There doesn't seem to be like a weak link in the 3 of them.
True. I just think of the one black-haired guy that does that. They were used on Earth before the total war. You don't remember he talked funny?
Out of the 3 of them?
Yeah, because they had one black-haired guy and then 2 blonde guys. And the 2 blonde guys, they kind of like blend into one guy.
But one had like a really crazy Southern accent?
It wasn't Southern. It was kind of like like a 1940s, yes. But like David Lynchy. It was used on Earth before the total war.
I think I vaguely remember that.
But great episode. Thank you guys for the comments. A little bit of housekeeping. If you could please continue to like and subscribe. It means the world to us, guys. Like I've mentioned it many times, but just the fact that even one person is listening to this makes me incredibly happy. We love the Twilight Zone, as we would imagine you guys do as well. So if you could tell some friends or anyone or share these videos, we'd really like to get a few more people listening to this. But thank you so much for your weekly support and listening to the show and liking, and it truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys very much. If you were listening to this on Spotify, if you could take a few minutes to leave us a 5-star review, because why?
We are a 5-star show.
We sure are. And if you're on the YouTube page here, if you go over to the post section, you can see Ty's dropping poll every Tuesday. If you want to see what he's been doing, like he just said, he just did the trio, your favorite trio, but every week he has a cool new creative little poll for you, which I love polls.
Giggity.
Catch Alex dancing every night at his new strip club, Mr. Peepers.
Yeah. But thank you guys very much. I guess, oh yeah, and if you need to get a hold of us for any other reason, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com. My final question for you, Ty. Do you think you would be aware if you were dead?
I mean, I guess there's no way of knowing, right? Like, it's like saying, would you be aware if this was the Matrix, or like, would you be aware if some other weird thing? Like,
would you be? I guess another way to rephrase it: would you be resistant to it, like Klugman, or would you accept it?
I feel like I'd probably be.
I could feel like
resistant just because I'm very.
You're a very skeptical person.
I'm a super skeptical person, like, and I don't really believe in an afterlife too. So like, if there was an afterlife and I was in it, like, all I can think of is there's you ever watch The Good Place? Mm-hmm. There's a character that, like, when she dies, she doesn't actually believe it. She thinks that it's just like her mind firing off random like thoughts and stuff like that, and that's what's kind of causing everything to sort of be crazy there. And yeah, I feel like I would probably be very skeptical that I was dead to begin with, because I'm like, well, I can feel, like, I can still talk, like, and think, like.
I feel like you would definitely fall into the category of, I think you'd be on Klugman's side if you were in that situation. No, there's got to be more logical explanation to that, because you're a very black and white person.
Yeah, I agree. I would probably fall into the shoes of Klugman. I would probably also still call him out, like, on his whole idea of, like, oh, if we come back down, the aliens won't have us under a spell. This, I'm like, okay, like, there's obviously flaws in your logic. Like,
I wonder if that was intentional to be like, he's literally grasping for straws, like he just will not accept this.
I feel like if enough data and evidence was presented to me, I would obviously adhere to it, but I would be skeptical at first of anything. I'm like, okay, that seems unlikely. But the more and more evidence mounted, I feel like I'd eventually fall to it. What about you?
Yeah, I think I'd probably be in the opposite camp. I'd probably be like, yeah, most likely we're dead. I don't know. I ponder things sometimes, like, we could be dead right now.
We could be aliens that just got super high and we're imagining human bodies.
It could be. There's a plethora of possibilities that this weird, strange thing we call reality
You get off the alien bong and you're like, oh man, I just had the weirdest trip. It was a human called Alex.
That would be weird. All right. Well, until then, Ty, do you have anything to say to our dear, dear Gnomies out there?
Yes. Thank you all for stepping in the Twilight Gnome with us.
It's 4 o'clock, the howling man is gone. Frisbee's telling stories, Mr. Dingle strong. There's time enough for the real Martian to stand up. Next stop, Willoughby, little girl is lost. There's something on the wing, Walter Jameson won't live long. Feel like I'm 5 characters in search of exit. Help, I'm slipping into the twilight.
unlock this door and see me naked.
I'm jacking it. I'm jacking it hard to the Twilight Zone.
These
men are also jacking it.
The spaceship